Hi FlossTube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher and welcome to episode 95. If this is your first time joining me, I am so glad you stopped by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, sometimes quilting, and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support. All of your wonderful messages and emails you send my way, I appreciate each and every one of you. So I hope you all have had a great week. I had a wonderful week. My birthday was Tuesday and we just had the best week. I appreciate all of you who sent me emails, text, cards, messages, just wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate that so much and it made my day extra special. But we had a good day. We went shopping. We had lunch out. We went to dinner out with friends. And so it was just a really good day. But I always think of my grandmother when it was her birthday. Her birthday was in the month of November and she liked to celebrate birthday month. She justified it by saying that I just have too many family and friends that want to celebrate my birthday or take me to lunch or go to see me. And I can't squeeze it all in one day. She tried to do birthday week, but then it grew into birthday month. So I like to say it's birthday month. So let's keep on celebrating until the end of April. So a lot of you shared my same birthday. A lot of you shared anniversaries. A lot of you have your birthday this month. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to all of you April birthday babies and all of you who got married in the month of April. So thank you again. It was a wonderful birthday. I do have some cards to share with you that came in the mail and some gifts that came in the mail for my birthday. So, okay, let's start today's video. Grab a pen and paper, grab your cross stitch, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get started. A few life updates. I feel like I always have to tell you about my children. Gray is going to be home. She will be home in 2 weeks. So we are so excited. It's going to be quite the whirlwind of a drive to go get her, but she has to be home and she has to be off campus 24 hours after her exam, her last exam. So that's going to be interesting. So we will race up there, load up the cars, and head back home. So that will be fun to have her home. It'll be an adjustment, but we're all excited to have her home this summer. And Tristan is just counting the days until the end of the school year and when he gets to go to Colorado. So I keep reminding him he has a lot of work to do between now and then, but he's counting the days. He's so excited. We've had a lot of rain this week. It's been a lot colder than it normally is this time. I was supposed to go to the Dogwood Arts Festival today, but it got postponed until tomorrow because of the rain. We had just torrential downpours this morning, so I didn't get to go, but I will go tomorrow. I'm going with my former neighbor. Her name is Nancy. I've spoken about Nancy before, but they are like family to us. We lived in the same house for 19 years. And they have just become my children's adopted grandparents, and I just love sharing time with Nancy. So she called and asked if I wanted to go to the Dogwood Arts Festival and lunch for my birthday, and so we are doing that tomorrow, and it's in downtown Knoxville, so it'll be fun. I'll try to take some photos and share them with you next week, but that is my plan for tomorrow. So just it's a great time of the year around here. It's just so beautiful and lots to do. So I'm excited about that. So let's get into my whips. I have one finish to share with you, and then I will share with you the gifts I got in the mail. I changed my bookshelves, I'm sure y'all noticed, and I did a little video on a detail up close video on what's on my bookshelves this time. I wanted to go with a simple look. I didn't put a lot of stuff on my bookshelves, so I kept it just very simple and clean, and I wanted to show you, give you a little bit of an idea of how I decorate throughout my house with my cross stitch pieces. So this is sort of a similar setup to what I have around my house, minus the flowers and the lights. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I do use a lot of frame pieces, small pieces, big and small, and mix it up a bit. And I blend it in with antiques and just personal items, decorative items we have in our house. So I have a video to share with you about my bookshelves, and then we'll go into our giveaways. So let's get started. So my first finish that I want to share with you, or my only finish, but my first whip and finish that I want to share with you is Eliza's French birds. So this is a stitch along that I have been doing since April the 1st is when we started. And I started this stitch along with other floss tubers. It was Celeste Creates, Merritt Crawford, Elizabeth Ann Stitch, Kim Goldman, and we just had the best time stitching Eliza's French birds. And this is one of those stitch alongs, start when you want, stitch when you want, finish when you want. Some people have finished, and I have had so much fun looking for other people's progress on Instagram and sharing that in my stories. So this is Eliza's French Birds 1849, and it is by JBW Designs. So here's my finished project. And I will hopefully have this as an FFO next week. I'm ordering a green picture frame for this. So here is my finish. Let me come in so you can see it. This was such a fun stitch. I did decide to leave Eliza's name off of it, and I just kept it with just the birds. So this is stitched on 36 count, fiber on a whim, cream, and sugar. So I absolutely had so much fun stitching this, and it is such a sweet little size. I love these colors. I used all the called for floss. I stitched it one strand of floss over two. So one strand of floss over two threads of linen. And this is it. I love these colors. The pinks, let me show you the colors. The pinks are so pretty together, and then the greens are pretty too. But these pinks, my floss ring keeps coming undone. This is an older floss ring. Let me just hold them up. So here are all the pinks that were in this project. Lots of shades of pink, but they all serve a purpose. I mean, they all had a distinct place on this little sampler, and I just love the size of this. So here are all the shades of pink. Two of them are DMC, one is a Classic Colorworks, and one is a Weeks. So the pinks are in the birds. We have two shades of pink in the birds and two shades of pink in the berries. So pretty together. And then the greens we had are a combination of Classic Colorworks and Weeks. So here are the greens. So pretty together. So here is another close-up, and I cannot wait to get this one framed. I'm just gonna frame it myself. Like I said, I ordered a picture frame for it, and I'll share it with you. Hopefully when it gets in, I'll like it enough to use it. But I think it'll look really pretty in a green picture frame. Let me show it to you like this. So pretty. So pretty. So that is Eliza's French Birds. If you are stitching it, want to start it, or will be starting it, use the hashtag on Instagram, hashtag JBW Eliza's French Bird SAL. And I'll link that hashtag below, or list it below so you can see it. But I like to go through and follow that hashtag so I can share your progress too. And I think people like seeing that. They like seeing what everybody's working on. You can also go to my Facebook page, which is The Proper Stitcher. It's a group page, and you can post the picture there and I can share it there too. So that's a fun finish. It was a quick stitch. I've maybe worked on it a couple of nights a week, but I started it April 1st and she's done. She is done and she is beautiful. So Judy, thank you for another beautiful pattern. She talked a little bit about this pattern in her last video. You can go and watch her video, but it was a big hit at market this year. So I'm excited to have it done. So Eliza's French birds. It would make a sweet little Mother's Day gift too, if you wanted to stitch something super fast for a Mother's Day gift. So on my birthday, I started my birthday start. This is Baskets and Butterflies by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is such a pretty pattern. And I didn't get to stitch very much on my birthday, just for about maybe 45 minutes before we went to dinner. It was just a busy day with other things going on. But in that 45 minutes to an hour, I got this much done. I started the border. And it looks like it's going to be a nice little size. So I started here, made my way across. It's a very simple border. And I am using the Called For Silk, which is Gloriana Northern Lights. I already put it in my Floss Away bag. I decided not to put this on a floss drop. So I wanted to keep it in a bag this time. So here is the color. Very pretty silk. And this is such a beautiful color to work with. I am loving the variegation on this color. I think it's going to be really nice once I get this done. I am stitching this on 36 count, Fiber on a Whim Cream and Sugar. And I'm using one strand of the silk over two. Someone asked me about using one strand of floss and on 32 count. And you can use one strand of floss on 32 count. You can use one strand of floss on any count you want. It just depends on the look you are going for. So if you use one strand of floss on 32 count, I would recommend testing a little bit in a section to see if you like it. It's going to give it a little bit more of a prim look. It's not going to have as much coverage because those holes are bigger. So that's why we usually use two strands of floss on 28 or 32 count, but it is totally personal preference. There are some designs that I have stitched on 32 count with one strand of floss because I wanted it to have a more prim look. I like a little bit more coverage, so I tend to use two strands of floss on 32 most of the time. And on 36 count and 40 count and those higher counts, you use one strand of floss because those holes are smaller and it might be just too tight to get two strands of floss through those holes. So, but again, it is personal preference. No rules in cross stitch. You do what you want to do. But that is why I typically use one strand on 36 and two strands on 32 and 28 and so on. Hopefully that clears that up for the person who asked that question. But this is a fun stitch, and I think it's gonna be a quick stitch. I've had fun stitching the first little night and stitching that border. So Baskets and Butterflies, someone told me they're stitching theirs in red. I think it would be beautiful in a yellow or a green. And just whatever your favorite color is, I think you can change the color to fit your decor and I think this would be beautiful on my shelves right now. So hopefully I'll get it finished before I have to take all this down. So that is Hello from Liz Matthews. And then I made a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit of progress on my floral motif sampler. This one was pulled out, unfortunately, on a night that I did not have a lot of time to stitch. Let me find my pattern. So this is one that every time I think, oh, I'm gonna put it away for a little while, I pull it back out and I'm just like, no, I'm not ready to put her away. But this is the pattern. This is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. I am still on this big girl right here. And here's my progress. And I am stitching this little one here. So since I saw you last, let me make it a little smaller so I can hold it. since I saw you last, I finished this part and then I added this. So I don't know if you can see that, but that little pop of white on that little flower is so pretty. This color, I believe, is Ginger Snap. Yes, the color of the flower is Ginger Snap. And then we just did a little pop of white on it, and it just looks so pretty. That's Whitewash Weeks Dye Works. But it's just such a pretty little accent on that big motif. So this is a lot of fun. I am stitching this on 40 count, Picture This Plus Mellow, and it is, I'm using all the called for floss, which is mostly Gentle Arts with that one exception of the whitewash, which is Weeks Dye Works. But these are all the colors. And this does have a DMC conversion. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with all of this. But this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I am so excited. There's that Ginger Snap. It's a mess. But this is my progress. And I saw on Instagram today that someone had it completely finished and they sent it in for framing and it looked beautiful. I cannot wait to get this finished. And I'm very happy with the size of it being stitched on 40 count. Let's see. On 40 count, the size will be 14.25 by 10.75. So that's a good little size, but it's so pretty. Such a pretty, pretty, pretty pattern. Okay, so that's Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. And then I worked a little bit on my anniversary start, which is Blackbird Designs, My Heart Can Rest. So this is Blackbird Designs, My Heart Can Rest. This was a market release last year. So I worked on a little bit more of the border and those leaves. The leaves are all different colors, or the little pods on the stem. So pretty. So I did the whole side, and this is where we're about to curve. So we're right down here, and I made it down to here. The colors are beautiful, and I am loving this linen. This is 36 count American Chestnut. So pretty. And I'm using all the called for floss, and I'm using 1 strand over 2. But here are all the colors. And it's a blend of Classic Colorworks and Weeks. But here they are. All the grays and pinks and greens. So pretty together. And I think that's a black and a little bit of black. So My Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs. I'm loving it, absolutely enjoying it. But here it is again. And I just really like this middle section and this little house. Even this little house would make a beautiful little, if you want to pull that motif out and stitch just that house, that would be so pretty. And just a little frame or as a needle book, just so many things you can do with that. There's a little dog. So much fun to stitch. My Heart Can Rest. And you know, this is one, it'll get done when it gets done. I am just not putting any timelines on anything right now. I'm just enjoying stitching everything. And then I was watching Chrissy with Finally a Farm Girl. Her video came out on Sunday, and she was talking about how she and I, she was going through all of her whips, and she was talking about deconstructing some of her whips, and I need to do that. I need to go through some of my whips and decide, okay, will I ever stitch this? Do I still love it? Or is it just, resting for a little while? Well, a lot of my whips have been resting for several years, so I need to really have a heart-to-heart conversation and decide, do I want to keep this whip, or do I want to dismantle it and put the floss back into my stash and just move on? It's okay. It's okay to start a project and decide you just don't love it anymore. So in doing that, she talked about when she and I started Nottingham by Kathy Barrick last summer at StitchCon. And then I texted her when I was watching her video, and I was like, I forgot about Nottingham. I love Nottingham. I need to pull Nottingham back out. I even wrote my friend Kay into starting it, and she's so mad at me because she's been stitching it and I haven't. So But Nottingham is not one that I will deconstruct. I love it. I will go back to Nottingham. But then she mentioned Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread, the Coming to America exclusive kit that she released a few years ago. And I texted her and I said, I started that on Thanksgiving Day. Kim and I, with Stitch Etc., discussed starting it on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know if Kim did or not, but I started it. It was a little bitty start. So I said I would love to pull that one back out. That is one I actually forgot about and I would like to pull back out. So thank you, Chrissy, for helping me save this whip. This is one that I hope to get to work on, and I don't know if I'll have it done by Thanksgiving, but I do think it's doable. But this is the pattern. This is Coming to America by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It is one that cannot be purchased anymore. She released it exclusively for a limited time, and it's just not available anymore. Hopefully someday she will release it as, release it again. But I was at Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas a year ago, and I got the fabric and I got all the floss there. Someone, I think it was Nevada Stitcher, joined us that day, and I got to meet finally, Java Girl Stitches, Christy, and it was so much fun to meet everybody at the shop. But someone brought their finished Coming to America, and she had it stitched on this linen, and I had to have it look just like hers. And this is what she stitched it on. It's 40 count vintage country mocha. And the reason I went with 40 count is because it's already such a big piece. I wanted to try to make it a little bit smaller, but this is the vintage country mocha. And this was my little start on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm pulling it back out and I am going to work on this, but I just started the border. And that's as far as I got, is this little bitty braid right up here in the corner. So this is going to be a focus piece for a little while. This may put take precedence over another project I'm working on right now. So Coming to America with Thy Needle and Thread, and I do think I'm going to stitch the whole thing. I have seen some people just stitch the bottom, some just stitch the top, but I think I'm going to stitch the whole thing. And this is one that I would leave out year round. I would not just pull it out for fall time. So pretty. So I'm excited to pull that back out and hopefully make some really good progress on it instead of my little sad little start up in the corner. So thank you, Chrissy, for reminding me of that whip. So I did a quick little video to share with you all how I decorated my bookshelves, and I gave it a little bit of explanation of all of the items on my bookshelves. If you have any questions about anything you see, don't hesitate to leave a comment below or send me an email and I will be happy to answer those questions for you. Enjoy. Okay, so this time around, I really wanted my bookshelves to be a little bit more simple. I didn't want a lot of items on my shelves. So I'm going to start with the top and work my way down. I've shown you this before. This is Blackbird Designs, Lily of the Valley. I loved stitching this piece. I stitched this last fall, I believe. So you can go back to one of those episodes and see how I finished it. In these boxes that I have on the top shelves on either side of my bookshelves, that's where I store my linen. Each box is for a different thread count. So I have 32 count and so on. These two little pillows are Blackbird Design patterns. I stitched them a long time ago, 2016 and 17, I believe. Absolutely love stitching those. And then this shelf is just one of the simple shelves. Just some lights, some greenery. This was a little pin cushion that my friend Nita gave me. This is just a piece of artwork that I purchased from a website long time ago. I can't remember where. It was actually a Facebook group page that no longer exists. And it's just a little painting on the back of an antique book. And then coming down here, I have a Blackbird Design pin cushion. This little knob that was a gift that a friend of mine made with an antique hoop. Just a little bit simple greenery and lights. This is a little magnifying glass with a jade handle. That was my mother-in-law's. She gave to me. And this is a piece that I stitched in memory of my mother-in-law. This is Indigo Lane. I stitched that, started it actually on the day that she passed away. And then this is a little pin cushion that Nita gave me. But I just love this shelf. I love how simple it is. I love the blues. And then coming down here is my collection of antique thread spools. And this is an antique sampler that I have. This is actually a Pennsylvania Dutch sampler. And I love it. I love the blues and the tulips and all the flowers. And then this is just a little decorative item I got at a gift store here in town several years ago. I didn't change anything in the middle of my bookshelves. I just kind of cleaned it up a bit. I moved my tomatoes in there for now to make room on the other side of my shelf. You all have seen this one. This is another antique sampler that I have. Sorry for the glare, but that is a lovely, lovely sampler. I love it. Try not to get everything to crash and fall. And then coming on over here, I have another Brenda Gervais piece. This is Bluebird Out My Window. And more of my boxes. And another one of those decorative art book covers with the butterfly on that one. And coming down here, I have a beautiful porcelain plate that my mother-in-law also gave me. But I just love the blues. This was actually hers that she gave to me a long time ago. And then coming down here, this was a piece I stitched for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day one year, and it is now in my collection. That's also a Brenda Gervais piece. And then I just have my jelly rolls, and my collection of my scissors, some of my favorite scissors I have in this dish that Nita gave me, and some more little doodads. This little tomato pin cushion was given to me by a good friend that followed Celeste Creates pin cushion tutorial, tomato pin cushion tutorial. These are the Lori Holt Be in My Bonnet buttons that I just thought they were so cute in that jar. And then this little girl that I've had in my collection for a long time. So that is it. That's all of my bookshelves. So this is one side and all the way down to the other side. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I had so much fun decorating my bookshelves. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all about it. Now I'm gonna go into my gifts and haul. So I got a few things in the mail. Let's see. I got several birthday cards and thank you cards. So I got this thank you card from Valerie. Thank you, Valerie. And this thank you card, look how cute this is. Isn't that adorable? This one I got from, these are people who have won giveaways, Devra. And then I got a birthday card from Judy Whitman. Thank you, Judy. You are so sweet, but look how beautiful this is. This looks like something you can frame. It looks like a watercolor. Beautiful. And then Merritt Crawford. Not only did she send me a birthday card, she sent me, and Matthew and I, she sent us an anniversary card. So here is my birthday card from Merritt, and here's my anniversary card from her. Very thoughtful and very sweet. And then I got another birthday card from Leah. And then I got one from Celeste, my sweet friend Celeste. I mean, she knows I love blue. She loves blue too, but this is the birthday card she sent me, and she made me this beautiful little bag. This, I don't know if I want to use it as like a little bag in my purse, or if I want it to be for, like, to go in my sewing bag for like little pins and things like that. But I love that fabric. Those roses are beautiful. Thank you, Celeste. She has a tutorial on how to make little bags, big bags and little bags. So go and check out her tutorial, but this is beautiful. Thank you, Celeste. And it has the little, cute little fabric inside. And then my sweet friends, the Bougie Stitchers, they are Jenny and Nancy. They sent me this card, and I want to read it to you because it's really telling of today's world. It says, if I didn't think you were so awesome, this card would just be a text. You're a card-worthy friend in a text message world. So thank you so much, Nancy and Jenny. That is such a sweet, sweet card. But then they made me this giant project bag, and I love it. It's like a big quilted bag, and this is the cutest fabric. All these ladies in swimsuits, but they're like little fruit. Here we have pineapples and cherries and apples and pears. So cute, and I love the color combination. And then, I mean, it's a good size bag. It is beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I love this bag. I squealed when I opened it. It was such a sweet surprise. So thank you so much. And then my friend Kay Reese, she made me this little sampler here. And she stitched me a lot of pieces I've shared with y'all. She sent me this for my birthday. And it is beautiful. Look at this. This is from the Elegant Thread, and it's Mary Hunter 1884. And I believe these are color choices from the Country Sampler. I think she got this on one of our trips up to Country Sampler. So she stitched it. I don't know the color linen. I don't know the floss. I can ask her, but it's beautiful. And what she did here, let me just show it to you. Isn't that pretty? Such a simple, beautiful sampler, very elegant. So she stitched this, and then she mounted it on the mat board, and then she mounted the backing on mount board. Then she took that to her Hobby Lobby, and they framed it, and it's almost like a little shadow box frame, and no glass. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I am going to probably put it right behind me in the cabinet until my next change out, when I put it on my shelves, or I may hang it on the wall. But I just really, really like that green. That green is beautiful. So this is the Elegant Thread is the designer, and the pattern is Mary Hunter 1884. You can call the Country Sampler for their color conversions if it's different. I'll have to ask her what she did. So pretty. Thank you, Kay. Very, very thoughtful and very nice. I really, really love it. So that is all of my gifts and haul. I did not buy anything this week. I've been really good lately. I have been trying to work from my stash. I have some other projects going on. Just trying to be good. Trying to be good. I do have a start that I want to start next month. It's going to be a Brenda Gervais patriotic sampler, a project, and I need to decide which one I want to start. So that will probably be next month. And then I forgot to print. I'll show it to you next week. Chrissy with Finally a Farmgirl, she sent out a sneak peek of her Matilda for her patriotic, one of her patriotic releases, and I forgot to print it, but I'm going to start that one soon too. If I print it, I'll share it with y'all next week. But that is such a cute little mouse, and it's little Matilda, and she's dressed up like Betsy Ross. It's super cute, so sweet. So excited about patriotic stitching. Can't wait. All right, so last week I asked y'all to tell me your state, where you live, the state you live in, and what your state flower is. And that was a lot of fun because I learned a lot, and I was very, very surprised with how many states share the same state flower. And I also thought it was funny that I was one of these people. A lot of people said I had to look up what our state flower was. So that was fun, that, you know, maybe we all learned something. But when I was telling Matthew about the question I asked y'all, he knew most of them, because apparently whatever grade he was in, they had to learn all the states and all the flowers and the birds and all of that stuff. And how he could remember all of that, I have no idea. But he remembered most of them. So that was pretty impressive. But it was so much fun to read all of your responses, and even those of you from other countries who, if you didn't have one, you mentioned that, but it was fun to see where you're from. But then a lot of other countries have their flower too. So it was fun to read all of those. Okay, so let's go through the winners. But thank you for playing. And here we go. Number 1 was As Ye Sold by Rosewood Manor. As Ye Sow. This goes to Teresa, Teresa Rogers, Rogers. Teresa Rogers. The next one, number 2, is Stacy Nash, Primitives, Christmas at Hollyberry Farms. This goes to Joanne with an E, Seeger, Seeger, Joanne Seeger. Number 3 is Teresa Kogut, Faith, Hope, Peace, Love. This goes to Linda McVety, McVety. Linda McVety. The next one is Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Atkins. This goes to Margaret Leggett, Leggett, Margaret Leggett. The next one is a Shakespeare's Peddler, Dolly Fowles 4 Lions Sampler. Say that 3 times fast. B Swere, Swere. So it's B, and your last name is Swere. Susan Ott, OTT. This is number 6. This is Cottage Garden, Peace on Earth, Susan Ott. Number 7 is Bent Creek, Baby Row. This goes to Sue Staggs, And the last one is a Blackbird design, Evergreen Lane. This goes to Maria Casso, 1118. So Maria Casso, Caso, 1118. So if I called your name, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. Tell me your name, what you won, and list your address, and I will get that in the mail to you as soon as possible. I did not make it to the post office this week, so all the mailings I'll start sending them out either tomorrow or on Monday. So our next grouping of giveaways for this week. So, not going to make it a long explanation. If you'd like to be entered to win a giveaway, please subscribe to my channel. You have to subscribe, like the video, answer the question below with the number that you would like to be entered to win. I ship internationally. Anywhere that the U.S. Postal Office will ship, I will ship. And I will draw the winners next Friday. So here we go. The question this week is, and I was thinking about this, and it's really, I find this interesting. So, I was thinking about how we find a reason to start a project, or we like a project. I'm curious to know, what is it that draws you to a pattern? Is it the size? Is it the color? Is it the message on the pattern? What is it that when you were trying to decide your next project, or when you're shopping for patterns, or when you look at new releases, what is it that pulls at your cross-stitch heartstrings? What is it that draws you to that pattern? I would really like to know. For me, it varies. Size really does go into play. I need to decide, is now a good time to start something big or something small? Color is one thing that I look at, but then again, you can change color within, it's just like paint color in your house. You can change the color and make it your own, but that is something that it gets my initial attention. And then everything about it has to be visually appealing to me. Sometimes I'm just ready to stitch something that's seasonal, and I look for a seasonal stitch. So what is it for you that when you are looking for a pattern to stitch, what is it that you notice first? Or that you look for when you're choosing a pattern? So hope that makes sense, or just tell me what you like to stitch. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Our Story. This is a Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread pattern. Our Story, number 1. Number 2. This is by Diane Arthurs. This is called House Blessings. I'm not wearing my glasses, of course, and I can't see. Number 2, House Blessings. Number 3 is a Barbara Anna Designs. This one is called Long May She Wave, Barbara Anna, number 3. That's so cute. Number 4 is a Plum Street Antiques 1837 sampler. This is number 4. And here is the original on that one. It's really pretty. And the message on it, let me just tell you, because that may help you decide. And I love all of these little motifs down here. That would make a fun little floral motif sampler of your own if you just want to pull those out. But this message says, Jesus, permit thy sacred name to stand as the first effort of an infant's hand, and while her fingers on the canvas moves, engage her tender thoughts, I can't see what it says, to something. Thy love among thy children, let her have a part, and write thy name, thyself upon her heart. And I'm sure that is in here. She does make a special note that all errors in this reproduction were intentional. Oh, so it's a beautiful sampler. 1837 Crown Sampler by Plum Street Sampler. And that's number 4. Number 5 is another Barbara Anna Designs. This one's called Henrietta Goodrich. Henrietta Goodrich. And that's number 5. Number 6 is the last one, and it is another Blackbird Design pattern. This is Feast of Friendship, and I did see that recently that this one is going to be re-released. So, yay. But this is going to be given away next week. But this is number 6. And all of these are courtesy of our viewer and friend, Marls, who sent me that wonderful box of giveaways a few weeks ago. So thank you so much for the giveaways today. If you see anything that you like, list it below, answer the question. I'd love to enter you to win. Until then, I think that's everything. I hope y'all have a great week. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful month. I hope you get some stitching time in, and I will see you all next Friday.